After diesel and LPG, government to now end subsidy on kerosene. What is the need for removing subsidy on kerosene? Do you think government is right in scrapping subsidies on kerosene? What are the recent important reforms in the oil sector? GS Paper 2, Government Policies and Schemes. What is the context about? The government has taken further steps to gradually reduce subsidy on kerosene, continuing the series of market-oriented reforms that have galvanized the petroleum sector. It has asked state oil companies to keep raising prices of subsidized kerosene by 25 paise every fortnight until the subsidy is eliminated. Kerosene and cooking gas are the only fuels currently subsidized by the government. The price of cooking gas is also being increased gradually to eventually align it with market rates. What is the need for removing subsidy on kerosene? Kerosene is mainly used by the rural poor for lighting and cooking, and it is a polluting fuel. Sometimes ends up as an adulterant at petrol pumps. The fuel is still heavily subsidized, but demand for kerosene is falling sharply because villages are being rapidly electrified, and the government has supplied cooking gas connections to crores of poor people in the past 3 years. India needs $2.5 trillion of investment in clean technology in FY15 prices between now and 2030 to meet its Paris obligations. If rich countries don't contribute, meeting the targets will be difficult. Some studies shows that subsidizing fossil fuels will extract a health cost many times larger than the subsidies costs. Such costs also can be reduced. Thus, cutting the subsidies on fossil fuel will help India to achieve its goals. Do you think government is right in scrapping subsidies on kerosene? Kerosene is no longer a preferred source of fuel used for cooking purposes, especially in urban areas that almost wholly depend on LPG cylinders as cooking fuel. Subsidies in various forms eat away the government's revenues, and removing unnecessary subsidies will benefit the economy. This saved expense can be utilized for developmental activities and in spending on social benefit schemes. A very small percentage of people in rural regions depend on kerosene for lighting purposes. Alternative arrangements can be easily made for the same by the government by providing access to electricity. Kerosene, when used as a fuel, is a polluting agent that causes black carbon accumulation in the environment. This creates air pollution and related health problems for people. What are the recent important reforms in the oil sector? Deregulation of diesel prices. It reignited the interest of private and foreign players in fuel retailing. BP and its partner Reliance have also announced investment of $6 billion in developing a deep-sea gas field, following the government's decision to reform gas prices and allow higher rates for gas in challenging terrains. Other reforms undertaken by the government include the end of the controversial profit-sharing system, which obliges the oil ministry to closely monitor oil field expenditure, leading to bitter disputes with private investors. The new exploration policy also allows market price for gas and gives companies the freedom to carve out exploration blocks themselves. Cooking gas direct cash transfers curbed leakages and facilitated monthly hire to eliminate subsidies.